This is the Stryker, the Army's 8-wheeled armored combat vehicle.
Yeah, this is a view from inside the driver's seat.
I went inside the Stryker during a training exercise with the Army's 2nd Cavalry Regiment in southern Germany.
So right now, we are on the Autobahn.
The mission started with a 40-mile convoy on the German Autobahn to a remote training area where the Strykers moved to seize an enemy stronghold. I was there every step of the way leading up to the final battle to find out what it takes to be part of a Stryker crew, how the vehicle works, and what its weapons can do.
What does it feel like when you squeeze the trigger?
Ecstasy would be the closest word I could get to it.
The Dragoon Stryker variant features a remotely controlled 30mm autocannon and a coaxial machine gun. Known as an infantry carrier vehicle, or ICV, it transports soldiers who dismount when they arrive at an objective. It has a baseline unit price of about $5 million. The upgraded Dragoon variant costs about $10 million. Today, there are about 3,000 Strykers in service. So why are Strykers so ubiquitous? According to the Army, Strykers are more agile than heavy armored vehicles like the M1 Abrams tank and the Bradley fighting vehicle, but more durable and capable than light infantry vehicles like the Humvee. Each Stryker has 2 dedicated crew members, the driver and the vehicle commander, who also controls the weapons.
Over here is the VC seat.
So what is this thing in your hand right now?
Pretty much it's our joystick to help control the gun, but in order to engage that, you have to engage this palm trigger first and then shoot.
So I'm told that when it comes to being on a Stryker crew, the most ideal position is that of the driver. Even though you have the most responsibility, it's the most comfortable spot in the vehicle. A lot more space, a cushioned area to lay down, and also I'm told that the driver must get a certain amount of sleep. They get more rest than everybody else because they're in charge of driving the vehicle and have to be rested and alert and everything else that comes with being a driver.
In the cab, there's space for 9 dismounted infantry soldiers.
This exercise uses the totality of my squadron. The squadron consists of about 600 people, and it has 74 Strykers, a whole myriad of different Strykers that allow us to move rapidly to the battlefield and then close with and destroy the enemy, to either fight for information from a reconnaissance role or to destroy or neutralize and hold terrain.
Designed by General Dynamics Land Systems, the first Strykers entered service in 2003 in Iraq. Some early Strykers featured a 105mm cannon similar to the ones used by M1 Abrams tanks. Known as the Mobile Gun System, this variant was retired in 2022. Today, along with the Dragoon's cannon, different Stryker variants utilize weapons like mortars, smoke grenades, and javelin missiles. The Department of Defense initially invested about $16 billion in the Stryker platform through 2011. Since then, the total investment, including procurement and upgrades, totals at least about $21.6 billion.
So we're here at the 2CR motor pool. All these vehicles will move out in a convoy down to the training area, and right now the soldiers are just doing checks on the vehicles, making sure everything's ready to go. So behind me you see a different iteration of the Stryker vehicle. It's got that box that you can see, and that box is a laser rangefinder, and that's used to shoot a beam that can go up to 20 kilometers away that can find targets that can be fired upon by artillery and other weapon systems.
We are on the Autobahn. As you can see, they have to use their turn signal just like any other vehicle.
Powered by diesel fuel, it can reach speeds of about 65 miles per hour. the 2CR Strykers drive about 40 miles to the remote Hohenfels training area, referred to by the soldiers as the box.
The terrain's a little bit different here from our home station, much more mountainous. So it's really just a great training opportunity for us to get away from our home environment, practice some things we normally don't get to.
The Stryker has 8 wheels, each tire about 4 feet in diameter. The vehicle has a central inflation system that allows the driver to adjust tire pressure based on terrain conditions, and run-flat tires that continue working even when punctured. The Stryker is well suited to urban terrain and flat roads. But going off-road can create some problems, as we saw in the box.
So right now, one Stryker's having a bit of difficulty getting up an incline. It's tried about 4 times and keeps getting snagged. What's going on right now?
Basically, the Dragoons are too heavy and the ground's too wet. So we're trying to get up probably about a 20-degree angle.
Why is it too heavy?
It's about 38,000 pounds.
Its base weight is about 18 tons, but can approach 20 tons when loaded with weapons, cargo, and soldiers.
Is this surmountable?
It's pretty typical. I mean, these vehicles, they're designed to go off-road, but they're not as great as track vehicles sometimes.
So after a few attempts, the Stryker decided to try to find another route. So we've now moved into the wood line. After the Strykers found routes that they could traverse, they came to this spot here for emplacement, basically where they set up shop and started to set up a camouflage net to sort of break up the outline of the vehicle, to obscure it, not make it so obvious to the enemy.
Unlike its armored 8-wheeled counterparts, like Russia's BTR and China's ZBL platforms, the Stryker is not amphibious. But compared to those vehicles, it's believed to offer stronger protection to its crew.
2-6 Romeo, this 1-6 Romeo, how copy?
Its upgraded armored steel hull can withstand blasts from rocket-propelled grenades and IEDs, but not tank fire. We asked 2 vehicle commanders to give us a tour of the Stryker.
How long have you been working with Stryker vehicles?
My whole career, actually. I was stationed at Fort Lewis, where they had Strykers, and when I came here, I was lucky enough to get a Stryker with a bigger gun. This is the main gun, the XM813. It shoots the 30mm Bushmaster. And this is the M240 Charlie coaxial machine gun. They are both controlled from underneath the turret, the gunner seat. It has its own computer screen looking through the VIM or the TIM, visual imaging module, thermal imaging module, which is all located right here. We have C-wire, 2 strands. We usually use it to set up a defense. C-wire is able to disrupt both dismounted and mounted movements for the enemy. So this is the cable cutter. It ensures that the crew, whenever driving through towns, if there's low-hanging wires or anything that we can't see if we're standing out of the hatch, it'll actually cut that and make sure we don't get injured in any way.
Would you say this is a fun job, like being part of the Stryker?
It's the greatest job of all time.
Why?
I get to do everything I want to do. Shoot giant guns, play Army Man. I'm not playing anymore.
Sergeant Weber. My job is to be a vehicle commander, which involves shooting and moving and communicating with the trucks. So we're gonna take you up. So this here is our driver's hole. It's where the whole truck operates from. Besides the shooting part, all the moving components are in here. So we have it's called a black box. It's basically our fuse system. So if anything goes down, we usually say pop the 300s, which is amping more power to that system you need. This right here is our engine controls. So this is how you start it. This is your high idle. This is your cold start. And then you just have your standard steering wheel with blinkers. So you got reverse, neutral, drive. In the center, this helps the driver drive at night. It's called the DVE, Driver's Visual Enhancement System. This is where we can communicate with the whole crew through this little system.
Cool. Can I get in there?
Yep.
Yeah, this is a view from inside the driver's seat of the Stryker. It's pretty tight. The top of the steering wheel is almost at the top of your knees, so it's not like the Bumblebee. Get out of there.
I wouldn't recommend putting your tallest dude in here.
Really?
No.
Okay, so yeah, is that typical that like the driver is a little shorter for a Stryker?
So up here is usually where we store ammo and load the weapon system of the 30 mic autocannon. If you look inside, you got a tray where the rounds sit. We got our camera that helps us engage targets and see. So our VIM, which is our day sight, helps us see during the day. And then our TEM, which is our thermal sight, helps us see at night. So we're about to go into the cab. It's usually where we fit the other 9 members of the Stryker crew, otherwise known as the dismounts. Right here is where our air guards, if we need them, so they can see out the back, cover the blind spots of the truck, sights the left and the right. Our MRE heater, so we don't even need to rely on the MRE heater out there. We can just use it inside the truck. Also, they come with a seatbelt, just like that. You can tighten it up here. This is to prevent when in a rollover for you flying into your buddy's lap or your buddy flying into your lap.
Do rollovers happen?
I personally have been in only one, and it's not a full rollover, it was a tip. Most of the time than not, the truck will tip over, not fully roll over, but both are bad. Over here is the VC seat. It's a little crammed as well. It could be worse. For me, I have long legs, so this is always fun.
So what is this thing in your hand right now?
It's our joystick to help control the gun, and it relies on your wrist to move it from side to side, up and down, and all around. You have to engage this palm trigger first, and then shoot. When you go to fire, you identify the target, you get a range on them. You go, all right, I need to use the autocannon for this. So I will flip it, because you keep it in the middle for safety, flip it down to the main. At that point, you move over to here to switch between ammo types, HE and AP, armor piercing, high explosive. Right now we have set to HE, so let's say there's a lightly armored truck, call it up, go, all right, at this point, you have this safety off, you have this set up. At this point, you flip this, go, all right, cool, I'm ready to shoot. Second to last safety, grab it, call up, hey, this is what I'm engaging, on the way. Bam, 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 bam.
So this has some pretty sophisticated targeting system.
Oh yeah. I say zoom in, zoom out, autofocus to help zero and get those things looking pristine and perfect. So this is the VC spot. So this is where when we're rolling down the road, just general maintenance or anything like that, that's where I'll sit and watch for the driver because there's blind spots and you can't see it all the time. And then we have our emergency exit.
This little hatch here.
Yep, is our emergency exit. And the truck catches fire and the driver can't get out for some odd reason, he'll crawl through his hell hole over his gear and my gear and get out. So that's the Stryker, our ICVD. It's a lot of fun. It's very lethal and it's a lot of fun.
What makes it so lethal?
Just the soldiers and the men that operate them and the equipment they trust us with and to shoot with. I've been working with Strykers for 6 years and it never gets old because it's just loud and moves quick if you need it to. You can move slow if you need it to. Nothing beats the feeling of standing on top and just taking in the sights.
After the tour, it was time to go for a ride.
All right, so we're about to leave this area and head into the box, and I'm actually gonna ride in the Stryker.
First, we're gonna have you put on this kit.
How's it going? Where should I sit?
Make yourself comfortable wherever you're trying to.
All right. All right, so I'm in the Stryker now, and I've got seatbelt on, kit, helmet. It's actually more comfortable than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's comfortable for a good little bit until you're sitting here for a while.
Yeah. Rolling along, it's comfy actually. It's a smooth ride. There's like very little turbulence. I know that once that'll change probably once we get deeper into the training area, but
yes, sir. Especially when they pick up speed and get pretty.
Yeah, which is why we have the helmets, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're driving along in the Stryker now. It's going at a pretty fast clip now. I guess about 50 miles an hour. It definitely like smells like fuel in here. When you're in the Stryker, there's no windows. You don't know where you are. You hear occasional radio chatter about the position, the destination, where we're heading. You don't really have awareness of where you are.
1-3 acknowledge.
Hey, I'm dismounting, coming to you.
Okay, we just rode in the Stryker for about part of an hour. Looks pretty chill right now, but of course that could change at any time.
The dismounts moved into the wood line, while the Strykers moved into position to fire on the objective, a trench held by the opposing force, or OPFOR.
That noise you hear behind me is the 50 caliber machine gun mounted on the Stryker vehicle.
The Strykers suppressed the enemy trench with the machine gun, allowing the dismounts to move in on foot and seize the objective.
When we saw the machine guns from the Strykers starting to fire on the objective, that's when the assault team was able to make just sort of a head-on assault or attack, and it didn't take long before they neutralized it and seized it.
With more than 3,000 vehicles in active service and more than $3 billion in investments committed to the platform through 2030, it appears the Stryker is here to stay.